To order. We are all present except for David Van Hooser. He will be absent. The invocation this evening will be given by Don Richards. Is Don here? Rodney, would you like to fill in for the minister?
I can.
And Billy, how about leading us in the pledge after the invocation? Rodney, thank you.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for letting us be here this evening. Be with this council as it goes through its business of the city, and be with this city as we go into the future. Also be with our troops and men and women overseas as we through this holiday season. I know it's been very tough on them. Also be with us as we go through life. In your Heavenly Father's name we pray. Amen.
Thank you.
Join me in the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 4, consider approval of minutes of the regular commission meeting of December 20, 2016.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Ron,
Second.
second by Rodney. Please cast your vote. Motion carries 6-0. Item 5, awards, presentations, proclamations, and organizational business. Item 5.1, present the pet available for adoption at the city animal shelter.
We may not have gotten the word to them. They didn't make it, one or the other.
Keep those dogs nice and warm out. Item 5.2, Vance Air Force Base quarterly update by Mike Cooper. Mike?
Commissioners, good to see you. Happy New Year. Good to be here again. Try to be brief. Just to give you a report, I'll go federal, state, and local level issues. Last month, presented and led a defense policy forum in D.C. where we brought transition members and defense people that are going to be responsible, not just working through the transition, but also going forward. So we had folks from the transition team, Defense Department transition team prior, during the campaign, and then all ones that are over the transition now, as well as defense leaders from the Army, Air Force, Navy, and the Marines to have discussions about where we thought defense was going, what the key issues were not. And of course, coming from that, key issues are going to be readiness and then the elimination of sequestration at the federal level, budget level. And of course, the whole thought is to increase budget, at least give the military and defense a budget so they understand what direction are. Whether it's more or less, don't know that yet. So I think we'll see what comes of that, but that'll certainly change a lot of strategies. The other thing on readiness is make sure that the Army's right size, the Air Force is right size. I know the last 2 years now, the Air Force has increased numbers because they went well below what they needed to be. In fact, they have another increase for this year. I don't remember the exact number of increase they're asking.
I don't remember, but we hit the target barely last year, which we hit the target last year that we needed to get in terms of accessions, which allows us then to increase the number even more for this FY. So
I think, there certainly will be a whole look at what the national defense strategy, national security strategy is, and then the effort will be then to fund it. So we'll see how that goes. The other thing, we also, with the help of Steve Keim and others, I know Steve was in here, I think he's still here, but had a great effort put together. You're in the middle of the Great American Defense Community Award selection process. Winners of those will be selected by probably next Friday. And Enid community, of course, with our community partnership with Vance Air Force Base, is one of the highlighted communities. So we'll see how that goes, but we hope for good things. The Senate and House Defense Caucus, along with the undersecretaries of all the services inside the Pentagon, select those winners. So they take candidates from across the U.S., and then they'll pick those, and then they'll be selected and highlighted in June. we look to hear good things on that. So also on MilCon and other budget type items, we're continuing to follow the highlighted items that are certainly important to Vance, and we've already had some discussions early on with this new Congress, the folks that are set that lead the different committees that have something to do with the projects that we're interested in. Of course, also work with General Robertson down at ATC to make sure that we understand what or not they're going to list in their priorities for Education Training Command as it relates to Vance Air Force Base. So we'll continue to follow up with that. On the state level, as we discussed, been in meetings with the House and Senate, the new leaders of the House and Senate, to discuss the need for continuing to fund the Military Planning Commission. I think you'll see that we'll probably get a slight increase over the $1 million that we've been receiving the last couple of years because of the down budget. I think that you'll see that we'll probably receive a slight increase. Also made sure that we got the money to finish the apron out there to go along with the dollars that you all, the airport, Woodring Airport folks put into that project. So again, I wanted to put these pictures up here because, you know, when we did some things, first thing we did was built that joint use hangar, because if we just saved one plane from hail damage or wind damage, well, we paid for that, and so we did that. The community state did that, and then the Air Force came to us about expanding the runway as we talked about, and then we very rapidly, we weren't quite sure how they would use it, and we always try to do these things with the thought in mind that we're only going to do things that are going to help them increase mission, reduce costs. Well, we found out real quickly that they have great use for this, and we had, you know, Ono kept complaining we have all these planes that are parked down on the south apron where they really didn't want them, but we didn't know where to put them. So we very quickly came up with this project. We very rapidly found out once we let it out, there's been a lot of aircraft, not just Vance aircraft, there's been Navy aircraft, and you see those Black Hawk helicopters out there, they're not from Oklahoma, they're from Georgia. So we're finding out that word's getting out about the use of this airport, which is good. You know, I think Ono would tell you he's selling a lot of gas, as we've talked about that before, but again, when the Air Force is making decisions, they got 700-800 pilot shortage, when they are probably going to have to increase, I don't know, 10 to 15% numbers this year, this type of facility gives them options. You know, none of us are, or at least I'm not a pilot, so I don't understand how they can utilize that, but it certainly has been very helpful, and they've already saved a lot of money just by using it in this very short time. So I kind of wanted you to see that so you could kind of get a feel for what Ono and the folks out there are dealing with out there, but that's kind of shocking if you haven't been out there and all of a sudden you see a Navy aircraft or these Black Hawk helicopters out there in addition to what we see flying every day out here. So anyway, those are all good things. Make sure that the state has funding for us to continue our projects. I spoke with Colonel Enid this morning. Some of the issues that we're looking forward to co-op on, they've got need for an early warning system. You've seen not just their system, but how it coordinates with the county for like tornado warnings and things like that, so that there's a need to upgrade. So that's one of the ideas being looked at. Also, we're always looking at how do we increase the perimeter at Vance Air Force Base, whether it's either protection of airspace or, you know, other things that they can do out at the base, mission related. So we'll continue to look at those options as they come available. And there'll be some other ideas that'll percolate up to the top between now and the end of legislative session in Oklahoma, but we'll certainly, as always, we'll have our project ready to go by June. So, Mayor, with that, if there's no other questions, that's kind of my report.
I have a question.
Okay.
$1 million that you're talking about in the state budget, how many ways is that split?
That is split between the 5 communities that have military installations, and then also the Guard. The Adjutant General sits on the commission along with 5 representatives from each of these communities around our major military bases. So it would be split 6 ways. The last couple of years, it's been split 5 ways because of some needs that the the Guard had at one of their particular facilities. But I think in the next years to come, you're probably going to, so we've been around anywhere from 160,000 to about 200,000. I think you'll see that increase anywhere from, say, 200,000 to 400,000, somewhere in that range. So I think we'll probably move upwards of 1.8 to 2 million for that group. Senator Schultz, which is from Altus area, so he's very familiar with, the things that we need to protect and enhance our facilities. So I think there'll be a little bit more effort there on the state's part.
Any other questions? Thank you, Mike.
Okay, thank you.
Item 5.3, reappointments of city commissioners to various boards and commissions. Let me get the right page here. We have had several commissioners request to serve on different boards, and I am going to appoint 6 of them to 6 different boards, and they will come off of those boards. Do I need to read the commissioners and their new appointments? I have it here, okay. This will give them a chance to serve on a different board and see how those boards operate, and give them a broader view and a little more education what goes on in those committees. First one would be Rodney Tim would be, move from the 911 board to the park board. Benny Zell from the park board to the long-term care board. Tammy Wilson from the long-term care board to the 911 board. Aaron Brownlee from the ERDA board to the special sales tax committee. And Commissioner Ron Jansen from the sales tax to the ERDA board. And Ron would then vacate his position on the Metro Human Services Committee, and David Van Hooser would replace him.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Aaron,
Second?
second by Ben. Further discussion? Please cast your vote. Motion carries 6-0. Item 6, hearing. There are none. Item 7, community development. Item 7.1, consider a sidewalk variance for Jeff Eaton, for Lot 1, Babes Addition, located at 1328 North Van Buren. Chris?
Thank you, Mayor. The slide in front.
We do have one person signed up to discuss that item.
Thank you. The site is outlined in yellow in front of you on the slide. Poplar on the north, Van Buren on the east. Mr. Eaton, now this slide, I apologize, has been rotated 90 degrees. So you have Van Buren Access Road there on the bottom of the slide, and then you have Poplar there on the right. He's building a brand new office building in the corner of his property. He is willing and is going to build the sidewalk along Van Buren Access as well as along Poplar. He is asking for the commission to consider granting a variance to not build a sidewalk on Polk Street only.
Motion to approve.
Second.
The hearing, is this just a hearing, or do we have to vote right now?
A vote right now is appropriate, Commissioner.
Motion to approve the variance.
Second.
We have a motion by Tammy to approve, second by Aaron. Further discussion? Oh, I'm sorry.
You have somebody?
I don't buy that. Hey, thanks.
Sorry.
We have Jeff Eaton signed up to discuss.
Tracking right there, I don't need to come up.
Hey, Jeff, if it's going the right way, you don't need to say anything, right?
I'd like to rescind.
We don't want it to be too late if you haven't. Appreciate what you're doing there.
Oh, yeah, you bet. Thank you.
Thank you. Good.
Now it seems like we have to pass it for you.
Yeah. No pressure.
Hearing no further discussion, please cast your vote. Motion carries 6-0. Item 7.2, consider a sidewalk variance for Arlen Potter located at 1306 North Grand, described as Lot 3, 100 of Lot 3 and 13, Lot 4, 100 feet of Lot 3 and 13, Lot 4, Murphy's Addition. Chris?
Thank you. This slide shows you there at the corner of Grand and Birch. Mr. Potter developed the building west of 1306, which is an existing building. He did make the necessary improvements to the sidewalk along Birch to comply with ADA standards. It was also required for him to install a new sidewalk along Grand. And this is the engineering's drawing. I know that's difficult to read and understand. Scott Holtzen will address this in just a minute. Here's the existing building, and this is a diagram that shows how much concrete would have to be modified in order to achieve the ADA slopes. And then there's just a visual picture of the site.
So there's
And-
already concrete all the way across?
Yes, there is, Commissioner. And then this is a technical slide that I'll turn it over to Scott, and he'll explain to you how the earth has to be reshaped in order to meet our sidewalk standards.
Is this an ADA issue or is this an ordinance issue?
It's an ordinance issue, but when we install sidewalks, they must meet ADA.
I'll move to grant the variance.
Second.
We have a motion by Ben to grant the variance, a second by Aaron. Further discussion? Please cast your vote. Motion carries 6-0.
Same on the next.
Item 7.3, consider a sidewalk variance for Jin B. Song located at 613 South Johnson, described as lots 2 and 3, West Garrett Business Park Edition. Chris?
Thank you. This is very similar to the last request that you just considered. They're simply wanting to put a canopy over the existing fueling stations, and because of that, the sidewalk ordinance requires it. Here's another engineering drawing that shows the magnitude of the resculpturing of the earth to meet the slide. There's a picture of it. It is existing concrete, just like it was on our Potter. And then there's the technical slide that
So there's
Scott
already a
will-
surface somebody can walk, there's already a place to walk. This would be in no way safer or improved except a slight
Slope.
gradient change. This seems like a really really easy one.
Was your answer yes?
Yes.
I don't know if you heard, but I moved to approve. Aaron, okay.
Aaron moved, I second.
Sorry, I was
Have a
kind of
motion
choking
by
at
Aaron,
the same
second
time.
by, was it Ben?
Yeah,
Further discussion?
it's an emotional.
Please cast your vote. Motion carries 6-0. Item 9, consent item.
Move to approve.
Motion by Ben, second by,
You missed Adam. Yes.
I'm just so excited to have a
We might
short
want
day,
discipline
you
him.
know?
keeping you on my toes, on your toes. We're gonna go back to item 8.
It's only $14 million.
Michael probably wants that to come.
Yeah, it's just small dollar stuff.
Keep Rodney on his toes over here. Item 8.1, administration.
I think we ought to make Rodney make this motion just for fun. I know how much he likes to spend money.
That's not my first mistake made. Item 9.1.
8.1.
I sure love the nines. Item 8.1, administration. Consider a resolution amending the 2016-2017 Water Capital Improvement Fund budget by appropriating additional funds in the amount of $14,100,000 to increase the 2016-2017 appropriated amounts for the Water Capital Improvement Department. Aaron?
Mayor, Commissioners, we closed on OWRB loan on December the 21st. These are the funds that are now available to continue on with Phase 2 of the call water supply, and we need to appropriate those monies to do the change order with Garver tonight.
Make a motion approved.
I'll second.
Motion by Rodney, second by Aaron. Further discussion, comments? Please cast your vote. Motion carries 6-0. And now, item 9, consent items.
Move to approve.
Motion by Ben,
Second.
second by Tammy. Further discussion, please cast your vote. Motion carries 6-0. Item 10, we will now recess to convene as the Enid Municipal Authority. Item 11, all of the trustees of the Enid Municipal Authority special meeting are in attendance except for David Van Hooser. Item 12, the Enid Municipal Authority special meeting is now in session. Item 12.1, consider a resolution increasing the 2016-2017 fiscal financial plan for the Enid Municipal Authority in the amount of $385,726.45.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Aaron.
Second.
Ron, further discussion?
Is this like just cost or something that made it higher?
This was the full amount that we received. This includes the origination fees that we have to pay, and they are paid out of the authority, so that's the difference between the two.
Other comments, discussion? Please cast your vote. Motion carries 6-0. We will now, wait a minute. You're down here. 12.2. I'm sorry, yeah. 12.2, approval of claims in the amount of $1,018,096.32.
So moved.
Motion by Ben,
Second.
second by Ron. Please cast your vote. Motion carries 6-0. Item 13, we'll now adjourn to convene as the Enid Economic Development Authority. Item 14, all of the trustees of the Enid Economic Development Authority special meeting are in attendance, except for David Van Hooser, who is absent this evening. Item 15, the Enid Economic Development Authority special meeting is now in session. Item 15.1, approval of claims in the amount of $6,000.
Move to approve.
Motion by Ben,
Second.
second by Tammy. Please cast your vote. Motion carries 6-0. Item 16, we'll now adjourn to convene as the Enid Public Transportation Authority. Item 17, trustees of the Enid Public Transportation Authority special meeting are all in attendance except for David Van Hooser, who is absent this evening. Item 18, the Enid Public Transportation Authority special meeting is now in session. Item 18.1, approval of claims in the amount of $789.72.
I've already spent too much money.
This will balance it out.
So,
You want
make a
the
motion to approve.
motion by Rodney,
Second.
second by Tammy. Please cast your vote.
This will make you feel
Motion
better.
carries 6-0. We got the high and low tonight. Item 19, we'll now adjourn to reconvene as the Enid City Commission. Item 20, public comments. We have Brian Carr signed up. He's not here, so we're going to go to Diane. Again, we have a 5-minute time limit, and please keep your comments regarding the agenda.
The agenda item is item 20, public comments. And my comment has to do with the fact that I'm going to personally be lobbying ODOT to make Route 81 to be a parallel Monarch flyway to Route I-35, because ODOT's already in collaboration with Minnesota and Kansas to make that the official Oklahoma Monarch Flyway, and I didn't want Enid to be left out, and I trust, Mr. Mayor, you wouldn't either. That's a big tourism item right there. And speaking of tourism, I think some time ago you mentioned at a study session where we had Canadians that were big tourists here in Enid, and I'm sure they would like to see where their monarchs are going too. And this comes to the point of Enid First, the map that they presented in a much more recent study session. They seem to not realize that Enid goes north and south. Their map that they presented was east-west, exclusive to 412, and that's just not so. And if you want Canadians to keep on coming here, you'll see to it that Enid First can find Enid, north and south of Garriott. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 21,
Do you need to read it?
Discuss that.
Yes, sir.
Item 21, consider convening into executive session pursuant to 25 Oklahoma Statute 307B3 to discuss the purchase of real property, and pursuant to 25 Oklahoma Statute 307B4 to discuss a pending investigation, claim or action, and to reconvene into special session to take any necessary action.
Mayor, I move that we do not go into executive session for a few reasons. First of all, this is about a property purchase. It has nothing to do with anything other than a property purchase. We don't have any plans for development of that site. It's purely about a property. Second, we believe we have a good contract. Andrea, you've done great due diligence on that, and there's no reason to hold it up any further. We just need to proceed on and give her the authorization to do what she's been doing. Nothing to date indicates that we don't have a good contract. Thirdly, I did speak with Todd Humphrey this morning. They're nearing completion of the title work. He's suggesting 2 to 3 weeks on that. We don't know if there are any issues. If there are, then we'll find out with the title work. We don't have anything to talk about tonight. It's all speculation. And lastly, I think that our contract is dated prior to anything with a real estate agent, whatever date they may have been engaged, and we'll find that out eventually, but at this point, we don't know. And if that isn't the case, then we need an opportunity to visit about that and make it right. But if that is the case, then really that's a non-issue as well. So with all that being said, I just suggest we ask Andrea to proceed with the purchase as we originally directed and wait till the title work comes back. And then at that point, after the due diligence process, address any issues that might exist.
I haven't, oh, go ahead. I haven't heard any of that. Is that all correct, Andrea? I don't know anything. I haven't heard any of the information about the status of it. Is everything Aaron said basically the correct status?
Yes, as far as we know.
Okay.
Will you find out when they contracted with Coldwell Banker?
I can find that out, yes. I don't know what that date is, but I can find it out.
Is the property for sale or not?
Well,
Either is or isn't.
Well, it is for sale, and I know you were asking Andrea, but there is an issue with who has the authorization to sell it.
Somebody has to know.
So the due diligence process will more clearly identify that. We think we're dealing with the right people, and we will know shortly. But if we're not, then we need to get together and talk about it. If we are, then we need to proceed. Sorry, Andrew, I should have probably let you answer that.
you're fine.
Do we have a motion?
My motion is to deny, or not to go into executive session.
Second.
Motion is second. Further discussion? Please cast your vote. Motion carries 6-0.
Move to adjourn.
Have another item on there, and there are 2 items.
Oh, I thought that was all to handle the one.
It was to handle the one.
And what, Andrea?
It was to handle just that one item.
Oh, there's the second executive session?
No.
Okay, got it. Are we ready for a motion to adjourn?
Yes, sir.
So moved.
Motion by Ben, second by Tammy to adjourn. Please cast your vote. Motion carries 6-0.
Short and sweet.
We're adjourned.
Thank you for joining us for the Enid City Commission meeting. If you have any questions or comments, visit our website at enid.org.